school, unlike the day school. Now I have more time to read. We have the morning preps, we have the evening preps. I have no any worries. Unlike back at home in the day school where we lived in a house where there is no electricity. So you use the candles. Not the candles, you have the other ones.
The lamps.
The lamps.
Full and handsome viewers, thank you for joining us into our today's session of My Untold Story. Today, I'll be your host, Victoria Halai, and our guest,
Stellah Kwamboka.
Thank you, Stellah Kwamboka, for joining us today. Tell us more about yourself.
Stellah Kwamboka is a lady who was born in the year 2005, October 26. I was born in Kisii County in Kenya, Marani district. Yeah. Currently, I'm 18 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are you a Kisii?
Yeah, Stellah is a girl from Gusii land.
Okay.
Yeah, I come from a family of 4. That is 2 parents and 2 kids. That is me and my sister. Yeah.
Seems that you are lucky.
Why?
Because only 2, being 2 in a family, that's, you're lucky.
Yeah, I'm lucky, but yeah, we are 2 biological and 3 non-biological, so we add up to 5.
And you are living together in the same house?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. What about your background?
My background was not that awesome, but I appreciate because it was not luxurious, it was not that bad. I think I was blessed to have 2 parents who could manage to provide for all my basic needs. That is, they were able to give me food, shelter, clothing, and education. According to me, that is a good life.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said your life was not awesome, and at another point, you said your life was good. So emphasize on that.
By me saying my life was not awesome, I meant that I was not able to access all the luxuries that a child needs, as like going to better schools, having fun, like going to picnics, like having like good medical attention, like having a good basic life of your parents. So my parents are casually barras. That is, my dad works in looking after cattle, while my mom picks tea. That is not in Gusii land. So life became hard in Gusii land, and they had to come to Kikuyu land. Sorry, that is in Kiambu County, in a place called Kaga, where they have been working since my childhood. According to me, they have tried. They have been trying their level best because though they had minimum wages, I was able to go to school. I was able to go to hospital whenever I was sick, and at least I had food to eat on a daily basis. That is when we were 2. Yeah.
Okay, you've talked much, but I've not heard about any religious aspects. What about your religious background?
Oh, Stellah is a Christian. She's a Christian, yeah. Since my childhood, I'm a Christian. I was born in a Christian family, and till up to date, I'm a Christian. Yeah, I believe in God, the supreme being.
You see, having not enjoying all the recreational facilities that other kids enjoy, it's too bad. So how did you manage to cope up with that environment?
Okay, when I was young, I was raised by my dad. My mom used to stay in Gusii land. while I and my dad used to live in Kiambu. So I had that mentality that the kids who had that better lives from my neighborhood are those who had their dad and their mom at the same time. So me seeing I only had my dad by then, and I was seeing he was struggling, he was working, busy at job. So me seeing that he was able to look after me at the same time working. He was able to wake up early in the morning, rush me to school, come back, go to work. During lunchtime, bring me lunch, come back, go to work. In the evening, coming for me from school. That showed me that he put more effort, and I could not pressure him that I want to be like my neighbor. I used to see that I think my neighbor is better because she stays with both her mom and dad. Yeah,
Okay. So you are saying that your father was your most aspiration.
yeah.
Okay. Where how did you find yourself in children's garden?
Oh, that's a long story. As I said, I come from a family of two. So I went to school. My mom came in Kiambu when I was in grade two. So since grade two, grade three, grade four, I've been studying in Kiambu. And seeing both of my parents working and I and my sister going to school was somehow fun. I love education. I liked reading. I just used to, it was in those days where for you to make in life, you have to go to school. You have to read. You have to do your national examination. You get the highest grades.
Yeah.
You go to the best national schools, get the highest grades, go to university, graduate, get your degree, and then start working, and you become successful. By then, that was the mentality. Unlike nowadays, where we have various options of succeeding. We have school, we have talent, we have social media, we have different ways. So by then, I studied, I reached standard 8. So now that you are two, and my dad and my mom are not that financially well, so I used to go through a lot of school fees challenges. So I used to be sent back at home. I could see my dad struggling, explaining to teachers about his situation, but the teachers were nice. They could allow me go back to class as they give him more time. And that really inspired me. It motivated me. It made me work extra hard. And due to the hard work, by God's grace, when I reached standard 8, now it's called grade 8, right? Yeah. So I got a scholarship. A certain madam, she was the director of a boarding school. She gave me a scholarship of 1 year for the grade 8 studies. And it was a boarding school. That really meant great to me because,
privilege.
yeah, because now I'm going to a boarding school, unlike the day school. Now I have more time to read. We have the morning preps, we have the evening preps. I have no any worries. Unlike back at home in the day school where we lived in a house where there is no electricity. So you use the candles. Not the candles, you have the other ones.
The lamps.
The lamps, yeah. And you know the lamps without kerosene, no reading, no doing assignments. So I could struggle. Like I had to do assignments in class, go home. You have to do some chores. You are the firstborn. You are a girl. Your mom expects you to wash the utensils, do some cleaning. I have to help my younger sister cleaning both of our uniforms, preparing her in tomorrow classes. I have to ensure she has done her homework. You see, my mom is working, so I have also to start preparing supper. So by the time it's 8, you are already tired, you can't read. At the same time, maybe the kerosene is over, so no using of the lamp, you have to sleep. Then you will wake up at 6 where there's some light from the sun for you. You open the window, the light penetrates inside, and then you prepare yourself and rush to school. So this life is no different, where you have been given a privilege to go to a boarding school. You have electricity, no more house chores, only just doing some of your cleaning. So I was able to study more and work extra hard because I believe that for me to succeed and change my status, my family status, it was only through education. There was not any other way. So in class 8, I finished my first term, my second term. I managed to become the top student in the school.
Wow.
And that made the director more inspired to give me more and more opportunities. I really thank that madam till date because I feel like she opened my ways. Now, in the year 2018, when I was in grade 8, I remember it was second term. In boarding schools, we have 3 events per term. We have the visiting day of the parents, then we have mid-term going home, and the end term. So the visiting comes like after 1 month of the term. So my dad used to come with my mom and my sister. Like we spend time together in the field, and then they'll go back in the evening. So on that morning, my dad came alone. And then I was like, where is my sister? Where is my mom? Then something told me, maybe they have been left at the supermarket doing some shopping for me, and then they'll come back later. So I relaxed. I went, said hi to my dad, and then he did not tell me anything. He just went direct to the office. So I thought it was usual. You're going to the office, we sign, then we leave, we go. But now I had my dad talking to the deputy head teacher saying that I need a 1 week break for my daughter. Then the teacher asked why. I don't know what they talked. I just had been told, go take your bags and some few of your books and then you leave. So I was like, aye, what has happened? By then I was young. I was, I think, 12. So I could not overthink on anything. So we left. Then my dad told me, Stella, you know what? Your uncle and your aunt, they were beaten. So I was like, they were beaten by by people. So I was like, oh, they have been beaten. So they have just been injured. They are in the hospital. So I'm just going to say hi, then come back. Then I told my dad, God is with them. They're going to get well soon. Then my dad said, no, they have gone forever. Hey, I was shocked. Forever? He didn't say anything else. I just kept quiet because it's like he was angry. So whenever I asked any question, he could just shout at me. So I ended up just keeping quiet. We reached home. Then I found a lot of people in the house. I met my cousins, 3 of them. In Limuru, we just live close by. It was like between our place and my uncle's place, it was like 3 kilometers away. So that's when I heard the news that my uncle and my aunt they had been robbed by robbers and murdered. So I was like, what? Yeah, it was very shocking. So I don't know. Arrangements were made. I really thank people from Kiambu, from the Kikuyu land. They supported us in a higher way, in a better way. Until date, I live to thank them forever. Because now, my uncle and my aunt have been murdered in Limuru. And according to culture, you have to be buried back to your homeland, where you came from. So you can imagine carrying two bodies from Kiambu to Kisii. That's like a distance of 360 kilometers. It's very expensive. Yeah, very expensive. Again, after the burial, you have responsibilities to take. You have these three kids who have been left. You have your own kids you have to look at. You can see the life is not that well with you. Your own family has been hard for you to manage. Then you have been added more responsibilities. But it all went well. You traveled, you went to BC, you buried them, and you came back to Kiambu land. I was in a boarding school, so I went back to school. I told God, let it be. Whatever is going to be, let it be. I just left my dad with the kids. And now the kids, my cousins, they are used to Kiambu life, not Kisii life. So the environment is totally different. So saying, and my grandmother is very old. You know that it's that culture that when when parents die, the children are left to the grandparents. But now the grandparents are very old. They are from those days where they don't value education. So if you leave them with the grandparents, they just help in the farm work, maybe, and house chores. So the chief saw it was wise for my dad to take the children back here because they were already used to Kiambu land. At least they were not they would not suffer more changes in life. So we came back with them. Hey, I went to school. I decided to focus with my education. And then I said, God will just take control over those who have been left back at home. Let me do what has brought me in school. So in August, we closed for the second term. I went back home. Life was hell. You know, we were used to those days that we were only two. So for instance, if my dad buys like a loaf of bread, he'll only eat three slices, my mom three slices, and then the other loaf is for me and my sister. Now we are five. It was fights after fights, quarrels after quarrels. This is mine, this is mine, this is mine, that is mine. And then I remember I reached a point saying, you don't even belong here. And I feel sad about what I said, but I feel like I was young at that period, at that age, and our parents talked to us, and we learned that we had to understand that life changes, and you have to survive with the changes that happen in life. You have to accept whatever comes before you. Today you might wake up walking, tomorrow you are walking on a wheelchair, and you have to accept because that's life, and you have to learn how to cope with it. So together we walked the journey together. I went back to school for the final term. I'm now waiting for my national examination, so I have to put extra efforts. So I studied, I did the exams, I finished, and I passed. I got 390 marks.
Wow.
I was called to a school. It was called Chogoria Girls High School. I think it's a national school. Yeah, it was a national school. So all my classmates, they were called to national schools. Like my friends, my group of friends, most of them, they were called to national schools and extra county schools. Now I'm back at home. Life was good because I was given a scholarship. Now I'm back. The scholarship is over. And then we are no longer two, we are five. So I'm the firstborn in standard 8. The others are following. The other one is in grade 5, two in grade 2. The last one is in nursery. Then my dad is like, how is he going to get the fees? Looking at the fee structure of the high school, it's almost 40,000 because you are joining for the first time. Admission is very expensive in high school. The money that he has, it cannot even pay just for the fees, leave alone the admission, just the fees. And I was like, hey. So my destiny was to study till grade 8, right? I started telling myself things. I felt bad. I was stressed. I cried. Like you can imagine seeing your friends being taken to Alliance. The other one is being taken to Pangani Girls. The other one is being taken to Baringo Boys. And you studied with them. You see that pressure.
Yeah, I see.
Very bad. Then you are in the house feeling like, this education was not meant to be yours. So my mom said it will be wise if I help her in her job. As I said, her job was speaking tea. And then by doing that, it will increase her income and it will help in raising the younger ones. At least, even if I will not manage to complete my education, at least the ones behind me, they will get the opportunity to complete the education. Because maybe my dad could work for, like, for the bills, the rent, water. Then my mom's salary can be used for school fees of the other kids. And then mine can be used like for food in the house. That one would be more easier. So I joined my mom in the tea plantations. I picked for a while, even though I didn't love it, but I struggled and I got used to. So like for 1 month, I picked tea. It's not a good job, especially to teenagers, because the tea has water, especially early in the morning. And you know, Kiambu is a highland area. It's very cold, very wet. So you find like if it's raining in the morning, it's very, very bad. But this one madam, I think my life has been rescued by madams throughout. There's this one madam who was a board member of a former school before I went to the school where I was given scholarship. And that madam was like, what are you doing in the farm? So I just looked at her and said, I'm working. Then she was like, why are you working? I'm not supposed to be in school. I thought, her daughter was my classmate and her daughter had joined high school. See, I thought you were in the same school with Jane, in the same class, and Jane is in school. Then I told her of my circumstances. So she just said, I want to talk to your dad. So that evening, I was shocked. Should I tell my dad that Mama Jane said she wants to talk to you? I was shocked. I felt like it was those days whereby if a child is found working, the parent is arrested. So I felt like, whoa, my dad is going to prison because I'm working. But I just said, let me just tell dad, if in case of anything, he can find for a place to hide before being arrested. So my dad just kept quiet. The following morning, Mama Jane called him and told him, I met your daughter and she explained this and this and this to me. They talked. Then I was shocked the following morning being told, wake up, put on your school uniform, the primary one, you are going somewhere.
Wow.
Then I was like, you are going somewhere? Where? There's a certain home in Kawangware. I'm taking you to go and study there. At first, I don't know how I received the news. Somehow I was happy. Somehow I was sad because I only wanted to hear if it's going to school, it's going to Chogoria Girls High School, the national school. Like the way my friends went to national school, I also want to go to that national school. But again, my mom told me, you should take this chance as an opportunity and you should be thanking God because at first you had forgotten about your dream of continuing the education. But now you have gotten someone who is willing to support you. Then I realized she was right. And the following morning, we woke up, I and my dad and Mama Jane, and we came to a place called Children's Garden Home and School. And that is how I ended up there.
Wow, as you
Yeah.
can see, a small girl, but with more experience, just with 13 years, but working in a farm, picking tea. So as we continue, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Stellah Kwamboka,
Yes.
we've talked a lot, but there is something that I've been impressed with. So you say that your life was just rescued by madams.
Yeah.
This
It
means
was rescued by madams. By saying that, I meant like in the classes scholarship, the director was a madam. And then coming to Children's Garden Home and School, it is a organization that is owned by Daddy Moses and Mom Sylvia. But the one who brought me to the home was again a madam, was called Mama Jane. Yeah.
I feel like you also have someone to rescue.
Yeah. Yeah. Being rescued by a madam has taught me a lot, especially nowadays that you have these organizations that support women empowerment. You have had, like, right now, the global organizations are dealing with women empowerment, especially in women in technology. So that shows that women are very powerful and women are potential. Like, I believe that when one woman is supported, the whole society is supported. Because when a woman earns, he look at the kids, he look at the neighborhood, because I understand mothers are women of passion. Yeah, and they're very compassionate, very compassionate. They understand the pain in a more way, unlike the other gender. Yeah.
That's true. So it's a new environment for you. You're going to have new experiences. So how was Children's Garden to you?
Children's Garden Home and School. When I joined the home, I was very happy. I saw students with uniform, the high school uniform. And I was like, wow. So I was to put on a tie. So I was to put on a skirt. And I was used to dresses in primary. I was very happy. And I expected, like, I realized life was somehow different. I used to think that in high school it's all about, hey, life is very strict. Life is about canes. If you just mess, it's canes. Life is about being in a line-up way. The teachers are tough more than the primary ones. But I realized that I don't know if it's different in other schools, but in Children's Garden it was somehow different. The environment was welcoming. The teachers were more close to students, unlike what I used to think before. And now, as I joined the home, I met other students. The students who had also challenges and difficulties in their past lives. And I realized that there were others who had more harder lives, unlike me. Others was their situations were even worse, because some could tell you, me, I was rescued from a hospital. I've never seen my mom, I've never seen my dad. Me, I was gotten from streets. Me, I was abandoned by my family. Me, I was rejected. And that made me feel like, hi, Stella, why are you stressed? I don't think even if you have challenges in life, because you are lucky you have your parents, you are lucky now you are in an environment that you can study. I was even more happy to realize that I will never have any issue of being sent home for school fees, unlike primary, because now Daddy Moses gave me a scholarship, 4 year scholarship for my high school education. So I'm sure, bet I'm going to study my best. I never came even with a pen or a book or any shopping. I just came with uniform, and how I was received was very welcoming because I was given stationaries, I was given my own shoppings. The school had library, so I could access books because I loved reading. The teachers were welcoming. In fact, they enjoyed you asking them questions more and more. I found the home became like a family because we have dad, we have mom, and everybody there is your brother, everybody there is your sister. So if you have a challenge, we had our older sisters who could talk to you, could just ask them any question freely, and they were able to talk to us. The home also had visitors, and among the visitors, we had counselors. And I really thank the counselors because they talked to me about how to adapt the new life and how to accept the changes that have happened in my life. And that really supported me and it helped me in achieving my goals.
Help
Yeah.
you in achieving your goals.
Yeah.
So it seems like Children's Garden was a God sent to you.
Indeed, it was a God sent to me because without Children's Garden, I think I was right now, I could be in a tea plantation picking tea, or if the tea plantation could not be well with me, I think I could be a house girl somewhere working for someone. But now through Children's Garden, I was able to move on with my dream of pursuing my high school education, of which I did my best because I saw this was an opportunity, and opportunity comes once in life. Once you misuse it, it goes and goes completely. So I had to work extra hard. Yeah, I did my national examinations. That was in the year 2022, December, and we managed to pass. I got a B. And now, to show you that Children's Garden was God sent, unlike in my primary, I passed and the scholarship ended, in Children's Garden it was now different. After passing, dad and mom, they still told me that they were going to support me in my tertiary education. So I passed, I went home, my parents were happy, they were proud of me. Mama Jane was very proud of me. And I was like, now where am I going? What else? Am I going back to the tea plantation? But now, daddy told me to come back. In the home, you come back, you volunteer for 1 year as you learn more skills. So you'll teach the kids, the younger ones. So as for me, I used to teach high school and part of junior secondary. Yeah, I used to help in maths and sciences. And you can also volunteer in life skills. Like I understood that people are going through challenges, through difficulties, and talking to your younger ones made me learn that it was going to nurture someone the same way someone talked to me when I was in that situation, and it really helped me.
So that
Yeah.
proves how women are powerful. Through
Yeah,
that, you are able to inspire more.
you are able to inspire more because getting that grade from a home, you know, the challenges, the home is not like the other school. You know, yes, the education is the same, the system is the same, the books are the same, but there starts just small difference. You know, in other schools, your mission there is to study, you pass. After that, you just go and go completely to focus with their campus life and the future. But now in the home, your goal is not to read, pass, and go. Your goal there is read, considering your siblings, you want to grow together, you want to finish. You are not aiming to finish and leave. You are aiming to finish and come back to support your younger ones to also finish the way you finished. That is by advising them, maybe teaching them, talking to them. And now you see, I believed that if I could get a better grade, that would inspire the one behind me. Like for me, before I reached in Form 4, there were other classes before me. There were my elder sisters.
Yeah.
Of course, they passed. And that made me feel like if Jennifer got a B minus, Stellah can get a B. The one behind me will say, if Stellah got a B, I can get a B plus or an A. So you have to work hard in order to inspire the younger ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
From your speech, it seems that you're very caring, and I really love that. So while you were in
Thank
children's
you.
garden, did you have some dreams?
Dreams? Yeah, I had dreams. Since my younger age, I've always dreamed of becoming a doctor. So I was told, Stella, for you to be a doctor, you have to get a clean A. So, hey, I tried, I did my best. But I believe that human beings make plans, but God has the final decisions. So Stella's plan was to become a doctor, but God's plan was to become a lawyer. I was shocked because even after finishing my Form 4, I was saying, I want to be a doctor, especially, an orthopedics. I want to be a doctor. But now, I don't know how I ended up doing law. I just don't know. I got myself in law and I'm very happy doing the course. It's very fun. It has taught me a lot in life. At least I believe that by doing law, I'll understand my rights and I will understand the rights of each and every person, especially based on my background. For instance, children's garden home, the kids are in different ways. As I said earlier, there are those who are abandoned, there are those who are rejected. Currently, the issue of divorce is very high in Kenya. And you find that the victims are the children. Children are suffering in many ways. Women, the girls, are being abused. Though nowadays it's both gender is abused, but women are abused. Like when a girl is abused, maybe she gets pregnant, somehow that might slightly change the life of that girl or completely change the life of that girl. And you find like the perpetrator goes on and continues with his life normally. So I decided that this law will enable me to understand the rights of these children and learn how to fight for their rights. And also fight for the community, of course, the rights of other members of the society. Yeah.
So you changed your career after you'd finished Form 4?
Yeah, after I finished my Form 4, that's when I changed my career. I was confused. I was to do medicine, aviation, law. So I just told God, just show me what I'm supposed to do. Just tell me. Whatever I'll wake up feeling like doing, that's what I'm going to do. And I just thought of law. Just a thought came, law. That is how I did law. Yeah.
Did that affect you,
Like,
changing
of the career?
Yeah.
Not that really. Not that really. Yeah. Because I just believe that doing medicine was my plan, but God's plan was not me becoming a doctor. God's plan was me to become a lawyer. Yeah.
So I get another quality of you. You're very understanding.
Thank you.
So where do you study?
So currently, in the University of Nairobi, I'm pursuing, as I said, I'm pursuing a degree in law. Right now, I'm in my second year.
And where do you see yourself in 5 years to come?
In 5 years to come, I'll be in the Kenya School of Law because in the University of Nairobi, I'll be staying for 4 years. So as from September, it will be my second year. I just finished my first year. So after graduating, getting the degree, after you get the law degree, you can just defend a person in the lower courts, the magistrates, the subordinate courts. And these cases of human rights, most of them are held in the High Court of Kenya. And for you to become an advocate, you have to go to the Kenya School of Law. So I'll be there fighting, struggling to get that advocacy seat. Yeah.
You just want to be a lawyer, not a magistrate, not a judge.
Before I answer that, I remember you asked me a question about what led me to do law. Apart from the human rights, the children's rights, when my uncle and aunt were murdered, there was no justice. Till date, we have never known who killed them. We have never known what happened. No any legal action was taken. And that was mostly because of finance, For you to get that justice, you also need to get good pockets. And the lack of finance made us not to get the justice. And so I decided for me to get this justice, I have to do this law so that no any other victim will go through the same process. Like right now, it has been discovered that the court way is very expensive, but new systems have come, like alternative dispute resolutions. And through those systems, I think I'll be among the people who will be supporting them in order to help those people with low finance to access justice too. Yeah.
You're so visionable.
Yeah. And now to your question. So, as I said, after getting the degree, I'll become the lawyer. Then I'll go to the Kenya School of Law. I'll become an advocate of the High Court. Then I'm also aspiring to become a judge. But for you to become a judge, you have to have like at least 15 years of practice. So I have a long way to go.
Very long.
Yeah.
And what is your experience in your day school?
My experience is good. I've met different kinds of people, especially from my campus life. I've met people very bright. I've met people like me, and all of them, I've learned how to cope up with them.